Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Omar. I'm here on Omar Acts Up. This is my first kind of commentary video about political happenings in our world. But, I have a voice just like everyone else. Voices seem to be silenced more and more these days because of political beliefs. We see in the streets people getting physically abused because they have differing political opinions. I myself have family members who have turned on me simply because I believe something differently than they do. I have one aunt who blocked me on Facebook when I shut down all my social media just because it's really tiring listening to the same dumb voices saying the same dumb things over and over again. But that's neither here nor there. But this particular aunt blocked me on Facebook because I believed something that she didn't believe. The topic was immigration. She wrote me privately and insulted me, calling other family members who believe like I do racist. It's interesting. Her sheep of a daughter, also blocked me on social media, Instagram, Facebook, all that jazz. Why? Because we have differentiating views, okay? Well, I come from a place, Maryland, one of the 50 states, where we used to be able to talk about things. And I'm only 34 years old, so, what do I know? But I grew up in a world where we used to be able to have conversations without immediately jumping to the conclusion that the other person is racist or a misogynist or whatever. Let me actually qualify that. We might have jumped to conclusions in our heads, but it wasn't an automatic verbal assault of you're racist, you're a misogynist, you hate women. I've heard all these things. I've heard all these things from people that know me and know that I'm not any of those things. But when it comes to the political climate of today, you don't have to actually think that the person is racist or misogynist or whatever. You just have to know that they have a differing opinion, and automatically you're allowed to verbally assault them and make all kinds of accusations about them. Well, this is the kind of culture that we've cultivated over the last 15, 20 years, where you can do and say basically whatever you want without fear of repercussion, if you're on the left, that is, because the media will automatically take the side of the left, okay? The media will automatically take the side of that very small percentage of extreme far left ideology. They take up arms for that small group of people. And what happens? Well, you see things like Steven Crowder getting his whole channel demonetized on social media, on YouTube rather. Laura Loomer, she's not able to have any kind of social media presence. She's literally been ostracized from today's town square platforms, plural. YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Laura Loomer is not allowed to have a voice in today's world. Why? Because she has a differing opinion. Yeah, she calls out different people for different things. She calls out different groups of people. Yes, she does that. But the fact of the matter is that she's allowed to do that. She's allowed to do that. And what's happening now is that, these elites, Mark Zuckerberg being one of them, and I don't know the names of all the other ones, but Google, YouTube, Mark Zuckerberg with Instagram and Facebook, he's able to silence a person, and I was taught to speak up for those that don't have a voice. It's actually a biblical concept. Speak for those that cannot speak for themselves. It's a biblical concept, and guess what? It's also a rational, real world concept, that you defend those that can't defend themselves. So Laura Loomer, Steven Crowder, I mean, he's defending himself all right, because he was only demonetized and his mug club is helping to support him. But he and Laura Loomer and Alex Jones, who else? Different sites, a bunch of different well-known personalities are being silenced. Okay, that's the culture that we've cultivated over the last 15, 20 years. Okay, what's the point of this video? I want to talk about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. This, and I don't ever use this terminology. Like, honestly, I don't. I would challenge anyone to find, and if I have used it maybe once or twice, forgive me, I had forgotten. It's not, but Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC as she's better known, or commonly known as, this dumb donkey just became a congresswoman not long ago, and she's whined about everything. She doesn't know what facts are. Okay, she speaks from opinion, but she believes that what she says is a fact. Okay, this woman who basically responded to a casting call and became the congresswoman for her district in New York. Let's not get too much into that today, but this girl who got the gig as congresswoman for her district, she's getting paid $174,000 a year to run her mouth. That's my tax dollars, your tax dollars. She's getting paid $174,000 a year to just ramble, incoherent thoughts. You know, she just says the most ridiculous things, like the world is going to end in 12 years. Okay. This dumb donkey just said that she's basically doing the brave thing and the unpopular thing of asking for a raise. She's qualifying it as a cost of living increase. She purports to have just been some bartender from New York previously. I've heard of bartenders making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 a year. Okay, $80,000 a year. You know, I've heard of these things. She's now making $174,000 a year, and one of the first things that she complains about is not making enough money, and she blames who? She blames Congress. She blames Congress. She says that because they make so little money, then congresspersons have to go about seeking out loopholes in order to make their money in less honorable ways. So basically, $174,000 a year is not enough for her. Okay, but she says that low cost of that low income of $174,000 means that she's now, you know, going to have to go and look for other corrupt ways to make money by seeking loopholes and doing other kinds of shady stuff in order to make up for the lack of income. This dumb donkey just got a big raise by becoming a congressperson, up to $174,000 from whatever she was making before. And now she wants more because she fears that corruption is the reason, or lack of income is the reason why these politicians are corrupt. They have to seek other means. Do you understand how stupid that is? She's blaming Congress and its low pay, $174,000, for corruption in Washington. Does anyone else think that this is really, really stupid? Does anyone else think that maybe she's actually psychotic? Maybe she doesn't understand the world that we live in. I'm not sure. Like, the most I've ever made was $20 an hour. Like, that's it. That's $40,000. She's making $134,000 more a year than I've ever made in my life. What does she do with that huge increase in pay? She runs her mouth and asks for more money. I don't know about you, but that seems ridiculous to me. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has done a lot of dumb stuff. She just says a lot of dumb stuff. She's not a very smart person. She's pretty, except when people take pictures of her and pause it, or take video and pause it at just the right spot to make her look ridiculous. I understand that, but she's a pretty person. She's physically, visibly attractive, I believe. But guess what? There's not much going on up there, unless she's playing us all. Unless I did have this theory in my head just today, that she's saying all this ridiculous stuff because she doesn't want attention on the real issues that she wants to push forward, whether they're liberal, it's a liberal agenda, or even secretly a conservative agenda. I have no idea, but I do understand that people work in very tricky ways. So I'm just suggesting that maybe we got to look with a fine-tooth comb at what she's pushing through Congress, because I think all this, the Green New Deal, asking for a raise, as ridiculous as that is, I think she's very vocal about some of these outrageous things, but there are things going on in a more unannounced way, unprovocative way, that she's trying to push things through. And I can appreciate that. But damn, this girl dumb. If that's not the case, if she's not, actually playing us, she believes all these things that she outrageously says. This girl dumb. She's dumb. Like, for real. Okay? Anyways, just a short commentary on the state of our union, I would say. I'm not the president. I don't give the State of the Union address, but I do have a voice, and so do you. YouTube, I have a voice. You can choose to silence me. I hope you don't. But if you do, somebody else is going to speak for me. Thank you for watching me on Omar Acts Up. Have a wonderful day. See you next time.